Hello and welcome to CGTN's live streaming this afternoon. We come to Beijing Exhibition Center this afternoon. There is a very special expo about the hobby is being held here. So what is hobby and what exactly these items look like? We will have a tour this afternoon. And behind me, this is Beijing Exhibition Center, which is established in 1954, adopting a very unique structure style. And this exhibition hall has 3 sections. Now let's go into the first section to see the very special competition of modern cars, vehicles and planes. Please. Well, this afternoon actually there is a demonstration. This is a competition with items, amateur pieces from around the country and even from other parts of the world. Well, these items really looks really special, and we can take a closer look. And please take a closer look. Well, they look really genuine with the real situation and surroundings like bushes and trees, and all these tanks, vehicles are in a real combat mode. So with a question in the heart, so how do people spend time and money and efforts to prepare and making these models? We will find out. Okay, excuse me, sir. We're just wondering what kind of the competition it really is. Could you tell us? What's your name, please?
My name is Yibing.
Thank you so much, Mr. Liu. John, thank you for joining us. Mr. Liu from this competition, the organizer. And could you tell us what these models what they really are?
这个是成泥作品组。成泥作品组主要是表现这个战争或者一个战役当时的一个情景的一个画面，像照片一样。
Yes, actually, this gentleman told us all these vehicles and tanks and cars are in the real situation. It could be traced back to decades or even half a century ago. So, sir, actually, what this all about?
像这个作品就是反映了这个二战时候北非英军的一个场景。
This gentleman told me that actually this resembled a similar situation back to the World War II in North Africa. The British soldiers trying to asking way from local people. You can see there's a car and the soldiers and local people on donkey, and they're trying to communicate with each other. So that's really interesting. Mr. Yu, actually, we know that this kind of the models is really intricate and delicate. What else can you show us? 你可以展示一些别的什么东西吗？
这边是长金组，然后我们这边还可以看一下这个单体作品组，这边是单体作品组。
Yes, Mr. Yu told us this is actually the vehicles in a real situation, but actually there are anything more, just something more. These are the really bigger vehicles. 可以给我们介绍一下这个有什么样的一个特点吗？ What are the features of these vehicles models?
单体作品组呢，主要就是表现战车的这个单体的一个作品的一个状态。我们可以看看这个。
So you told us this kind of composition about this section is showing the exact details of each vehicles. For example, this one. Well, I noticed that this is really special, different from others. What is special about that? Because it is also named as a tiger.
单体作品组和长拟作品组不太一样的，就是单体作品组主要表现在战车在日常的使用当中的一些旧化的一些痕迹和这个日常使用的磨损的一些感觉。
Okay, I understand. He told me that what for each individual armed vehicles models here, it shows every detail. For example, this vehicle, this tank, shows the very details of how this tank has the rust all over its covers. We can notice that. And besides this, what else can you show us? 你还可以给我们展示别的什么东西呢？
这边还可以看一下舰船组。
Well, so next he will lead us to the section of the battleship.
没有，他有事儿。这边就是我们舰船组。
Well, this is a section of the battleship. And could you introduce this area to us?
很荣幸参加这个比赛。那这个是我本人的作品。
Wow. Well, this is an art piece designed by this gentleman whose name is 鱼棚 on this sign, and we know that it is some kind of the battleship under construction, and the scale is 1 to 700. So, sir, please tell us how long did it take to build such the model?
这件作品主要表现的是二战时候这个最大的这个军舰建造时候的一个场景。
Oh yes, well this is actually it was a scene back to World War II. That back then this battleship was the largest in the whole world. 那么还有什么细节可以跟我们分享一下呢？
大家可以看到这里有它的这个脚手架这个舰船搭载的脚手架，包括这个小汽车，还有工作人员正在对战舰进行最后的装配。
I found the details and quite interesting. He told us there are a lot of things. For example, the cranes and cars, and even there are some people here on the dock, and they're trying to repair the ships and trying to build the so-called one of the largest battleship in the world. 我还注意到这个地方还有一些照片，这照片是什么样的一些东西呢？我们来看看。
这个照片就是二战时候真实的一些照片这个作品的灵感就是来源于这几张照片。
Well, Mr. Yu collected some pictures and photos from the archives, and he used them to inspire himself to make this art piece. Although he's an amateur, Mr. Yu, could you show us how people could make such model?
这个作品大概是用了3个多月的时间制作。
He himself used 3 months to build this art piece. Could you show us some process of building this? 为我们介绍一下如何去建造这个，因为我们看里边一些展台什么的。
对，我们到里面可以看。
So actually, we want to go inside this platform and let's see how people are making the models. Well, because I'm the beginner in this field. Although when I was a kid, I tried to do somewhat, but this has always been my dream. Oh, this is
可以看到我们这个工作人员现在对这个战车正在进行旧化。
Well, this is on the working staff here. He's using the colors and some magnetic powders to make that vehicle into this situation, the condition we just saw. Because this one is really new, right?
这个战车呢刚出来的时候是很新的，然后为了使它能达到我们刚才看见的那些旧化的一些效果，所以我们就需要用到一些特殊的一些物品，比如说是效果液。
Well, Mr. Yu told me actually when the model was first introduced and made, they are in a completely new condition, just like this one. And then they would try to use some kind of powder, just like displaying on this desk. This is a pigment color for model with various colors, including white, gold, silver, and then rust. 你可以给我们解释一下，它到底在做什么呢？你好，我们想问一下您目前在干什么呢？ Could you tell us what you are doing right now?
这一步是就对战车的细节进行一个自写，这样的话突出这个战车的一个细节和增强一个阴影明暗关系。
Oh, well, I see. This gentleman told us he's using the pigments and other paints and powders to make this vehicle as old as it was back in history and show the contrast of colors and shades all over its body. 那我有一个问题就是说您做这样的一个模型通常情况下会花多长时间？做旧会花多长时间？ Well, I just want to ask you a question. How long usually you would take to make such model, and how long you would take to make this as old as the one in history?
模型的速组的时间一般是在8到10个小时之间，然后嘛，它的每一步的旧化是要一步一步完成的，每一步大约说是就是旧化的时间大约在个1-2个小时，然后干燥之后，干燥个1-2天之后再做下一个步骤。
Well, actually, this gentleman told us that you can continue. 你可以继续Well, he told us actually for each process there take at least two hours, and they have to be dried. And to the next step to finish. Usually, they would take 8 or 9 days to finish such a model. But I have another question. 那我想问一下您就是说，你像这样的一件这个作品您在最快的时间的话， 会花多少个小时会完成？
如果纯算说一个制作工时的话，可能说是在20到30个小时上制作的工作时间。如果说你要分布到每天，因为你不可能连续的，每天的话，大约说是一般是在1周到10天左右上能做完一件。
Thank you so much. We won't bother you. Just please go on, continue. Well, this gentleman told us usually he would spend about 20 to 30 or even 40 hours to finish such a product, such an art piece. Although we call ourselves the fan, but when we see such a making scene, we're really impressed. And back to Mr. Yu, he told us actually he used about 20 to 30 hours back to your art piece, that battleship, on the docking. How long did you take? I mean, the hours total. 花多长时间呢？比如多少个小时？
那个作品下来可能就得3个多月时间吧。
3个多月时间。
对。
Well, 3 months. He said he would use 3 months to finish the battleship. We just show you the model he designed and he created on the docking ship. Thank you so much, Mr. Yu. And we'll. By the way, besides this competition, what else can we see? What else can we have a tour this afternoon? 还有什么别的东西我们可以看呢？你可以给我们介绍一下。Yes. 你说除了这个，Well, Mr. Yu, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. We'll continue this tour. I hope we'll be back. Thank you. Well, this is a very special coverage of the CGTN's live streaming on the Hobby Expo 2018 in Beijing. This afternoon we come to Beijing Exhibition Hall. Within 3 exhibition halls, we saw really large collection of different items. For example, the remote controlled vehicles and also the static models, just like what we saw just a moment ago. For the other parts, we can still continue this tour. This is the second hall, showing various different exhibitions. We saw there's a post. On the post, the different soldiers, they're wearing masks, just like the real person. Well, there are the showcases. Inside, there are some soldiers like the real one. We can take a look. Excuse me, sir. We just want to ask you some about the soldiers and the statue. Usually, how they compose? 就是它是怎么样去构成的？能告诉我吗
？OK， 首先这个呢是1比6冰人，1比6的比例，大概是12英寸高，30公分。
This Mr. Liu, right? Mr. Liu told us this model, this soldier model, is about 1 to 1比几
？1比6。
The scale is 1 to 6. Is a 12. 多长呢
？12英寸，30公分。
12-inch long soldier. And this one is really special and resemble the real people. 那还有什么特点？您告诉我。
它的特点第一个呢就是逼真，它是非常的像真；第二个呢它是可动，它是可以动的；第三个呢是真实。
Well, the 3 features he told us about these soldiers and the models. The first one is they resemble the real people, and also they're flexible. Their arms, their legs could move, and also they could come back in a real situation. Well, on the condition that we arrange them in the real combat situation. Thank you so much, Mr. Liu. Thank you. This is the showcases with displaying the soldier toys. Actually, within this hall, there are many kinds of models this afternoon showing people. But actually, we're lucky because this is the first day of such exhibition. Usually, from tomorrow, the second day, this expo would be open to the public. So we are lucky. And today, there are a lot of the professionals, agents, and exhibitors. They are here and trying to show their products. Let's take another tour. Well, take a look at this. It's a bit like the Comic-Con in Tokyo, in Beijing, or in some other parts of the country, because this model looks like the Joker from the rise of dark night, and also the figures from the Alice in Wonderland. This is really interesting. Let's move on. As for the expo hobby, there were a lot of interesting things because this is a showcase showing the different cars, sedans. They're from different times, and the Land Rover, and we can also see. We can also see some kind of Chinese brands. Let's take this one. Well, actually, in China, one of the best brands for the sedans is this one. Is called Hongqi. They made it very intricate and with details, just like this model. Along this corridor, there are other items, other vehicles are being displayed. Well, this afternoon, besides the static models, we're going to have a tour about the moving objects. For example, there is an indoor open flying competition, but that belongs to the later time. And what we're going to see is a very special section we found this morning. It's an exhibition of civil aviation collection. It belongs to, it has a lot of the exhibits showing the Boeing, the Airbus, or Chinese ARGs C919, that big airjetter. Well, we'll come to this area. This is a selling area. We can see a lot of people are buying things. For example, this section, there's a counter. A lot of people are buying things there. Remember, just minutes ago, we saw a lot of people. There's a competition. People are trying to make the art pieces with their own hands. And just like this place, people would buy assembling parts and trying to build the real cars, the real jet planes. And for the other section, this is what we call the civil aviation section. There is a small models here. You can take a look. Good to see you, sir. 哇，你好，你好。那么今天上午我们到这儿来的话，就想让您给我们展示一下，就是说这些小的模型跟别的地方都不太一样。那么这一般的话，我们可以看到那边有很多的零件，但这地方好像似乎是固定的，而且它大小尺寸也比较接近。你能给我们讲一讲吗？ Well, actually, this models looks the same size and very small. Usually it's about the civil aviation planes. So we want to ask you this, Mr., to tell us what exactly of this exhibition about, please.
这类模型是高精度的比例收藏模型，民航机以民航机为主啊。现在您看到的，你现在有不同的机型，有380，有787、777、DC10，这是军机 KC135，然后咱们国家自己的 C919，大型客机。
Yes, I got it. I could just put that very simply. This collection is a collectible items. They usually include the civil aviation flight from Boeing to Airbus, and also the military planes, and also China C919 airplane. And what else can you tell us? 就是你可以告诉我们一下它的那个价格是什么的 ？What's the price of these models?
这类模型相对要贵一些。像早期产品有一些特价的，现在在100元以内。像正常产品，像这边的金属模型，还有那边金属模型，都要在200块钱以上。
Well, he told us actually these models for each item usually they would cost about at least 200 yuan. That's quite expensive for me. It is really small, but why they're so expensive? 能够解释一下，那么这么贵的情况之下，不是说那么贵哈，这种价格情况之下，那么人们为什么收藏它？
因为
什么样子讲
因为这类比例模型它有一定的收藏价值，因为有不同的机型，但是都是同一比例的，有不同尺寸的，有宽体机、窄体机，像咱们的919是一个窄体机，然后呢，在不同的机型上面也有不同的涂装，有不同的航空公司。
Yes, I know that he told us usually they have the same size, but they have the very special paint on the body of this on this plane.
Same scale.
The same scale. Okay. They are in the same scale. So what is the meaning of the same scale is showing on here?
就是同比例的模型，你可以看到这个民航的发展史，从民航早期的机型，像这个波音367、波音707的前身，到像 KC135，也是像跟707类似的 D30，到767、787、777，可以看到民航的发展史。
I got it.
通过这个小的模型体现出来这个民航从早期到现代模型的这个到现在的一个演变过程。
Well, this gentleman corrected my mistake. This is not they are not the same size. They are the same scale. Because of this, they could show the history of development of civil aviation in decades. That's really, really impressive. Thank you so much, Mister. Thank you. Well, this is a section tour about the civil aviation. This Mr. told us because of these planes, these models, although they are small, although they are quite expensive, for each they would cost about 200 yuan. But they can show people the history of civil aviation development, not only in China, but also in other countries. Let's come to other section of the tour. Now we can see there are some exhibitors that they're trying to making models, and there is a displays the products from other countries, for example, Japan, the United States, and Germany. This is a process, this is the details, how people using the assembly parts to build it into the car, to the robot, into the scientific models. Just like we mentioned, there are also the products from Japan and other countries. Well, this is the famous Ganda, which usually we are very popular not only in China but also in the whole of Asia and in other countries. Let's continue. Well, for me, the Hobby Expo is something not very new, because actually during the past years I usually came here, and for the tour this year I noticed that the exhibitors are not as many as we imagined. We could figure out the reason why. Please come. This is what we call the wall slot, and we see some the models, really big and giant models like this one. They are just like the real tank. This is also another so-called collectible items, and people built this tank. They could trace their history could be traced back to many years ago, and but we took a look at this instruction, this pamphlet. We noticed that all these tanks actually existed decades ago in history. They were made in Germany, but now they are the models and showing people and how these countries built the combat vehicles like this. We can move forward. This is actually the first day of the 3-day expo for the hobby collectors and fans and exhibitors and collectors. And this afternoon we also see some very interesting things here. Hey, it's good to see you. Good to see you. This is actually inspiring. Actually, during my past visit here, I got to know this lady whose name is here, and she's this afternoon. what are you doing this afternoon? 您今天下午干嘛呢？
I'm talking with this exhibitor. He's introduced the train model, and I think it's very beautiful. I'm attracted by the sand table. That sand table is very
Well, she's actually a collector, the big fans of the models. Every year she would buy a lot of things. This afternoon she came here for the show. Could you let us know what is the locomotives? How much does it cost? Because I know a lot of people on this show, they're trying to sell, they're trying to buy the items as the collectible ones. So for things like this, how much does it cost?
Oh, it's very expensive. I think I cannot buy it, but I can after the Mr. Kang introduce one.
I just want to ask you for some kind of details about this one.
That metal is can drive when you connect the electricity. It's and the light.
So actually, how much does it cost about this locomotive?
This engine is for the scale is G scale. It's for outdoor running for outside, and the cost is about 9,500 RMB. And it is have a UV protection coating and waterproof.
Okay, well, thank you so much. Well, that's really expensive. Well, for us, we just have this tour to have a peek about this model, but we cannot afford to buy that. And could you tell us a bit about this? Because actually, Ms. Hall is a big fan here, and we can put her here and take us more introduction about the history of this show. And okay, so I got a question. Although people would say this is Hobby Expo, but still a lot of people would ask the same question: What is hobby? What is hobby?
Hobby. That's the things or something what you like. When you are a child and when you become the elder, become older, you love it. You love bake it. That is not work, not toy, not toy. So a model. This kind of model in the abroad, the same exhibition, model show America in Europe, we call it a hobby show.
I got another question. Is about the this kind of the models. Usually we can see that in war games. For example, back to 100 or even 200 years ago, in other countries in the history, the people would use them on the to decide what to do next during the wars. So is that the origin of this model?
This origin model, origin Europe. Most of fans come before the second two world. They love the tank, the vehicle, the flight airport, and they cannot drive the real car, the real tank, but he put their attention into the small one.
Okay. And also, this year today I see less people here. So what's the reason?
Less people, but today is Friday, and tomorrow more people will come here.
So what about the activities we usually, because you said you will stay here for the whole 3 days, and what do you plan to do?
I want to, I meet you, what do you see in the dance hall? What do you see in the dance hall?
Okay, well actually, at the very beginning I saw the competition of the school models, and then we saw the soldier statue, the soldier toy. It's 12-inch long, 12-inch tall figures. And after that, we saw some kind of the model cars and also the collection of civil aviation planes.
Oh,
that's what we saw.
I plan to visit this hall because I saw there is an exciting competition. That is airplane FP3 airplane music competition. It's very exciting.
Okay. Well, sounds very good. And this way?
Yes.
Okay.
I also like that it's countryside vehicle car. It's small, but it's as same as the big rail car. You can see a set table. It's very big.
Yes. Thank you so much. And we joined with a very special guest. He is also the fan and collector of the items here. And we just came to this booth. And a very special booth. We saw a lot of the remote control cars, the vehicles. There are some remote controlled vehicles is climbing up and down the slopes of the mountain, like the real situation. Excuse me, sir. 我想问下你，就说这个是一个活动呢，还是一个比赛呢？What's exactly this is the competition? Is this the showcasing your skills?
是我们现在是一个就是体验活动，就是让大家感受到这个遥控模型的这个魅力。完了，我们这个场地也是，我们去年去美国看他们那个那个场地的样子，完了我们就照他样子，完了做了一个仿真的，反正大家都能体验就是这种文化。
Okay. Well, this gentleman said this is actually the experience section of this show. They want audiences to join to remote control the vehicles on the slope of the mountain, for example. 另外想问下，就是这个我可以体验吗？这个可以怎么使用的？Well, could you tell us how to operate, how to control it?
OK， 就是这个就是前进，中位就是停，就是刹停，完了往前推就是倒退。
Well, this sounds very simple, and could you pass it to me? Could you give it to me? Well, so when I press this, it means backward, and 还有什么呢？
往前推是倒。
Push it. This is a backward. This is a move forward, and and when I doing this, it means turning left and turning right. So please take a look at the car when I'm driving that. Wow, I made a disaster. The vehicle falling into the valley. Thank you so much, sir, for sharing these experiences. And well, that my friend told me there is going to be a very special section of the air flight. So let's go there to take a look. Did you try it?
Oh yes, but my skill is not very well. Yes, I like to drive the real car, but as soon as the radio control vehicle car. This is exciting.
Okay, so this is what you mentioned about the flying competition, right?
Yes.
No people here.
People here, maybe. I think
let's go inside and see.
Yes.
Hey. Hello. Excuse me, sir. I'm Zheng Yibing, the CGTN reporter. This afternoon, we're doing a very special coverage about this exhibition. What are you doing right here, right now? in this area, in this section?
Yeah, I'm here to fly to music with the model airplane. This one. Okay. This is my project, designed by me and produced here in China, a good company. And I will fly this to music.
Okay. Can you do it for us right now?
What?
Can you do it for us right now?
Yes. Consider this is a sport. This is model airplane, and it's a new kind of flying. So this is an aerobatic airplane. So you can perform many maneuvers and also playing the music, for example.
It does look very complicated, but I'm just wondering how it flies. Can you show us?
Okay, I can show, but maybe it's better I can show flying the plane.
Yes.
You consider I use the transmitter, so a controller to move this part. You can see all this part. So the plane can move in the air and can change the direction, and it can perform many different maneuvers, because the difference between planes and cars that plane can move in 3D, in a three-dimensional space. So they can do many things.
They can do many things, although they look very simple, but they could perform many very complicated precision.
Yeah, exactly. The plane is quite simple, but you see it's a poor material, it's foam, but reinforced all together with the carbon rods. And the electronic is quite more complicated, quite more sophisticated. It has the motor and the regulator that control the power with the propeller, of course, and the receiver.
This is a receiver.
Yeah, the receiver that receives the input of the controller, the transmitter, and we can see if you want.
This is a controller.
Yes.
And
the transmitter. When I move
do you need me to help you with anything with this? I can hold it for you.
Oh yeah, okay. Maybe it's better. Okay. I need a battery, so just a second. Okay, so we turn on the transmitter and we connect the battery. Okay. Now we check that everything is okay. We attack the battery, and now the transmitter communicates with the plane. So if I move ailerons, the ailerons move. With the ailerons, the plane can turn right or left. And similar command is the rudder. This, the vertical rudder, and it's for turn but without moving the wings. And this is the elevator, it's for going up and down. Okay, so when you mix all these maneuvers, all these movements together, you can perform aerobatics.
Can you show us?
Okay, but I need a full charged battery because I don't know if this battery is charged. So you ask.
We know that this afternoon there are some competitors from around the world. They're going to join the competition, but right now they're free, so we come here to let them show us the skills on how to fly the models.
Okay.
Yeah, very powerful.
Okay.
Fine. Yeah. Okay. We move the.
Yeah, little. Oh, no, yeah.
Yeah, have it.
No, it's okay.
No problem. Yeah.
Just for a test.
Okay, just for a test first. So maybe you can stand there.
Yes.
Well, he's doing the preparation. Wearing the strap with transmitters.
If you need your music, just call me. Yeah. You do some dance fly first when you just hold it.
And also music, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Every music.
So the flying according to the music.
I help you. I help you.
Definitely there's a mistake, but they're correcting. They're testing the flight right now. Yes, they're testing. Well, it is flying. Well, quite exciting. They are moving in a very complicated directions and very the upright and downward. Well, the plane looks like the flying steel.
That's the moment.
So it is still the testing.
Then you told me music start. Okay, 音乐开始。
This music begins. It's really wonderful. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
So where are you from?
I come from Italy.
Italy. So you are the most powerful competitors this afternoon. Thank you so much for showing us the performance.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Well, although the model plane is really simple, it poses really complicated gestures and positions in the sky, and based on the music we just heard. Well, this is a special coverage live streaming from CGTN on the 2018 China Hobby Expo in Beijing. And this event will last until this weekend. And hopefully we bring you a very spectacular showcase of the items, the vehicles, jet planes, and also model planes competition this afternoon here. Thank you so much for seeing us performance here. Goodbye, until next time.